So for a long time, I've been wanting to share my observations and my learnings and my experiences of spiritual and emotional growth within myself and in my coaching clients as well. And honestly, the times where I feel like picking up my phone and filming something are usually when I'm struggling or I'm going through it a little bit. And I love that I feel the drive to connect and to share and to express how I'm moving through something. In a way, it is coping, right? But I think it's a really beautiful way of coping because I can fully share what's been supportive of me, what's been supportive for me, and how the different practices and perspectives that I've utilized have really helped me to shift my state, have encouraged me to alchemize what I'm experiencing from one state to another, and I don't know, to maybe inspire you as well. So I'm feeling really pretty good now, but the past few days have definitely been very, very rough. I will get my bleed within the next few days. And of course, for many of us, this is a very tender time. This is a sensitive time where maybe we don't feel as motivated, we don't have as much energy, we feel a little bit more irritable, moody, or even deeper rooted things. For myself, over the past few days, I felt like the absolute gunk of my being has rose to the surface and asked for me to do some deep cleaning. So that's what I've been doing. I feel like these really wild and not true stories about myself have become like the main movie screen that I've been watching over the past few days. Like, you're not worthy enough for this opportunity or for this connection or for this experience. Like, you're not good enough for that. You're not pretty enough. You are not creative enough. You're not successful enough. Just a lot of stories about not being good enough. And let me think. I wrote down some notes. So, I love to observe the things that pop up for me, especially in this time, because what I notice is that the things that rise to the surface in the luteal phase are things that actually still exist within us throughout other parts of the cycle. So let me give you an example. This self-worth thing that I've been dealing with, this exists within me in other parts of the cycle, but in this part of the cycle, in the luteal phase, I have a heightened sensitivity, a heightened awareness to this. It's been brought to my attention. It's emerged from my deeper consciousness to the surface for me to work with. So I have a choice. I can either view this as a problem, as something that's wrong with me. I could decide that that's the truth and, okay, I'm not worth it, so I'll live my life from that place. Or I decide, hey, actually, this is a gift because I now have awareness of something so deep-rooted in me. I wonder how I can work with this. I wonder how I can explore what this means for me or where this is coming from or how I can challenge this. So it's actually a very brave opportunity to be a scientist, to gather data about yourself in this time, and to not decide that anything's true, but rather just be like, yeah, that's interesting that came up, or yeah, yep, that's true, that needs to be dealt with. Like, yeah. So, I would say in this time, start writing, start thinking, even meditating on What are the same stories, the same narratives that keep popping up? How do I feel with certain people? And getting clear on what is really aligned now, what is not aligned now, how have my needs changed from this cycle to the last cycle, and where can I start exploring some change, making some shifts, making some changes. So I think it's also important in this time to not make any rash decisions unless it feels really true for you. For example, like I've been thinking about moving for the past few months. I've moved a lot. I love change. Change is hard for me, really hard for me, but a really deep part of me craves it because I know it challenges me, and I love challenging myself, and I love learning from making changes and being in different places with different people, and just exploring those different layers. I feel like that's really important. That is really, really important for me. And in this luteal phase, this time around, I have this sense of assurance of that this is the right decision for me. But I'm gonna wait until I bleed, because I know when I bleed, I can release even more stagnant energy and really make decisions from a very coherent and grounded place. And the bleed is a whole nother topic, is a whole nother video, because there's such potency and such beauty and so much learning in our bleed as well. It's such a sacred time. But for some reason, I'm always called to talk about the luteal phase. So anyways, yeah, so this is important, not making rash decisions, waiting until the bleed to really make concrete plans and decisions, but just noticing what comes up in the luteal phase, writing it down. What are like those consistent patterns that keep showing up? What do you feel is keeping you stuck? What is keeping you in the same loop? Just noticing, not judging, not bringing shame to any of these experiences, but just literally becoming a scientist, gathering data, getting curious, taking note, being aware. And then after the bleed, I think, is a good time to make change. But there are a couple of other practices that I find really, really supportive for me in my luteal phase that actually really changed my state. And I think why I'm feeling so good today is because I did the things that were really hard and that required definitely discipline. And I really had to push myself, because in this time, as you can probably relate, it's hard to get out of bed. You feel a layer of like heaviness and sadness and bloating. And exercise is kind of like the last thing that you want to do, but I find it's the most profound thing to shift my state in this time. So I slept in, and I went on a run. I went on a longer run today, and in the moment, of course, it's hard, it's not easy, it's uncomfortable, especially when your body feels so heavy, or you feel these layers of sadness or grief or anger, whatever it might be. But what I love to do after exercise, whether it's a yoga practice or going on a run or anything else, is to sit in meditation. And I haven't really been one to practice meditation regularly at all, except for this past year I started, and now almost every day. So I've been doing an hour meditation every day, and this has felt completely life-shifting, to be honest. And especially in this time, I can move from this place of a lot of the gunk, a lot of the shit that's come to the surface, to bringing so much love to those parts of myself, and to just really connecting to myself in the present, and even just observing those finer details of our being, those subtler aspects and parts and corners of our bodies and of our psyches, of what's there, what needs a little bit of love, what needs a little bit of care. So exercise, moving, getting things in motion helps to really shift our energy. And then after that, sitting and seeing what rises to the surface again, I think is super important for myself. Again, you do you. But I feel completely transformed when I do these types of things, when I do these practices. And I think that's everything. I think that's everything that I wanted to share. There might be more, but another time, you know? Anyways, I've been wanting to make a YouTube video for a long time, but I've been so scared. I've always thought, again, these stories that are super prevalent, like right now, is like, oh, that's so cringe, that's very selfish, you're gonna look stupid. But I also know that expressing ourselves fully and authentically and sharing from our hearts is a gift to ourselves, because like we're listening to this part of ourselves that wants to be seen, that wants to be heard, that wants to express. But you also don't know how this ripples out or how this has an impact on someone else, even if it's just inspiring a friend to do the same thing, or someone else out there who really wants to learn more about the luteal phase. Like, you just never know. So I'm super grateful to like pick up the phone today. Like, damn, I can't believe I did that. And it feels really good. It feels pretty natural. Let's see how it goes the next time.